Hey guys, this is Paul with Level1KitesUSA.com. Sure. Super excited about this new, very easy to ship, very easy to travel with package, and it contains the Badass. So we've got it redesigned, and we'll do a quick setup of the kite, and we'll show you the bridle settings that would be recommended by us. So here we go. I don't even know which version this is. It's got sticks. It's neatly packaged. So this would be our very beautiful red and purple coastal version. Recognizable immediately by the mesh. So, really the only thing that's different and initially is going to be a little bit of work. Really the only thing that is different from the Badass that you're used to, and it's going to require a little bit of work, is when you get the kite or when you've traveled with it, you have to put the leading edges back together. So you're gonna get the bridles out of the way, simply slide the leading edge in, pop the end cap over, and tension up the leading edge until you have a little bit, oh wow, I'm making a mess of things. Pull on the leading edge, put some tension on there, you see a little bit of curve. And that's why when you want to lock the line in place and slide the end cap over it. The vented, or the coastal I should say, I'm still getting used to my own nomenclature here. The coastal has actually pointy wingtips, because the winds are typically a little bit harder on the beach, or if the winds are harder on your local grass field, you'll have a little bit more grip on the ground, on the grass, on the sand for your groundwork. So if you don't want to cover those up, then I would suggest maybe make a ring out of the vinyl end cap, slide that over it. If you say, hey, I'm flying in a location where there's a lot of people and dogs and I don't feel that comfortable and confident, just put the vinyl end cap over it, you're ready to go, and it's all good to go. We're going to pretend that the other side of the kite is going to be set up the same way, so you don't have to see that on video. Alright, so while y'all weren't watching, I put the other wing together. I'm checking real quick if I've got an equal amount of curve. Looks good. So now we've got the lower spreaders. In the previous Badasses, this all came together, so the advantage of that was you can't lose your spreader. The disadvantage of it was, at least for me, I'm getting my bridle all meshed up in there. I never really liked that. I never really loved it. Let's put it that way. I will not have that problem anymore. So I'm always starting. I've got two lower spreaders. We'll call this a male and a female connection. I'm always started with the male one. Lift my center bridle, sticking it through. Lift my outer bridle, sticking it in. I'm not going to do the center part first, then do the other center part and let that just flap in there. That's our recipe for poked sails. Same on the other side. Lifting my center bridle, sliding on, holding, and I do this exaggerated right now. There's no wind, nothing is making my kites move. But if I'm on the beach and there's a little bit of wind, things will move. So I'm holding my lower spreader and my center T. I'm moving my spreader away from damage. When my hand is there, I'm bringing my wing up. Only then do I move my hand back, when I got a lock on both of them. I try everything I can to minimize the potential of me doing an oops. So again, I'm moving my bridles out, putting my standoffs in. Ideally, I want to do all this against the wind, not with the wind. So I want to have this kite pointed into the wind so that it's being pulled down. So I move the bridle up like this. I got my upper spreader finally. So I make sure again my bridles are out of the way. Upper spreader goes in. And there she is. check once again. Make sure that my bridles are clear. Looks good here. Looks good here. I passed my own test. That is that for the setup of the kite. Are you done flying? You can put it away in the bag with the leading edges extended or not. I mean, of course, the bag is still long enough. If you decide to put it back together, the bag comes with a handy little bit of Velcro, so it will stay together for you when it's folded up completely. So I'll put this away for now because there are bridle settings with these kites. Also a first. So you got 3 knots up top and 3 knots at the toe point. The standard setting when you will receive your kite is the center knot for both of those settings. So I've extensively tested all the kites and I've got a recommended setting for each of the 3 versions that we will offer. All kites, again, play with it, right? Do ultimately what you want. This is how I fly these kites. All kites started with a super light will have the upper bridle setting at the top knot. The top knot. Then on the SUL, the center bridle line, so the toe point will be at the closest to the center T knot. The closest to the center T knot. And I hope we can get that on camera. Right? So that's the super light. The inland version, same thing. Top knot on the top bridle. I guess there's your mnemonic device. Center knot on your center bridle. So there's only 1 knot sticking out now. And finally, the coastal version. It's getting boring. Top knot on the top bridle and outer knot. There we go. Outer knot on the center bridle. Very simple. You basically move 1 knot and you're there. So that is our recommended settings for the 3 versions of the new 2024, we'll call it, Badass. That's it. We'll see you on the beach.